Between 1 and 3 million people lost their lives during the Crusades on both sides. The battle was fought only because the other side was not Christian. Six million people were killed for being Jewish. Tens of thousands of Palestinians were killed for not being Jewish. And yet, in another moment in history, Jews were killed for not being Palestinian. One day we die because of who we are. The next, because we are not what someone else wants us to be. This is not about who is guilty, or maybe it is, maybe we all are. Because somewhere in the shadows of our own fear and shame, we project what we refuse to face. And we make room in our own eyes to kill. Once upon a time, there was a country called Yugoslavia, a beautiful land. As remembered by those who lived it, through the sense of summer evenings and the sounds of shared laughter, under grapevine-covered courtyards.
Synočka sklopich očí, kosaké noči, své znance drage, vidje kraj sebe tak. I kao nekad davno, zbija smo šale, pjeva smo pjesme stare o ljubavi. Drugovi, dragi, gdje ste? Kad bi bar sad mogo znat, da li još uvijek pjesme iste plove portom kao tad? Da li neka žena kradom pita more kad ću doć? Da li još uvijek mojim gradom mjesec tebe svoju moć?
The people, genuine people, warm to the core, generous by nature, sincere in their everyday rituals. A new Yugoslavia rose from the ruins of the old. Forged during the Second World War, it was led by Josip Broz Tito, a man who, for a time, became its soul. According to available data, from the outbreak of violence to the complete dissolution of Yugoslavia, between 130,000 and 140,000 lives were lost. Not because they were soldiers, not because they held weapons, but simply because Muslims were not Serbs or Croats. Croats were not Muslims or Serbs, and Serbs were not Croats or Muslims. The cycle repeats. History wears a different face, but the rules remain unchanged. Only the uniforms are different. Times have changed again. Children are playing in the streets once more. One illusion has replaced another. But have we learned anything?
I flipped through that book once, on the train, just skimming pages, watching the names blur past like stations. They say it explains everything. The truth, finally, that we were tricked. By the powerful, leaders, outsiders, puppeteers of the grand game. And people nod, beautiful, bright-eyed people, as if they found peace. Because now it wasn't our fault. It was them. They lied, we believed. End of story. But I've got a splinter stuck in that story. Who chose these leaders who betrayed us? Did they fall from the clouds like punishment? Or did we lift them up with cheers and flags and blind hope? The book doesn't say none of them do, because that chapter has no hero. Only mirrors. They promised documents, but gave us shadows. They gave us explanations, not evidence. Maybe it's true, maybe not. But what if the whole story was built to soothe us? To say, you were innocent, you were fooled. You owe nothing, forgiveness without confession, ego without truth, beauty without conscience. We rewrite the blame so we never need to change.
Not us, them. Not now, them. Not ours, theirs. And that is how we sleep. That's how we forget. That's how we repeat.
My name is Nobody, not by birth, but because forgetting me is easier than knowing me. I'm the part of the story you deleted. The guilt you ignored, the truth you blurred with fiction, the freak you made. I'm not a hero, not a victim, not brilliant, not beautiful. Just a whisper at the edge of your comfort zone. A glitch in the background of your spotlight. I don't like myself. I see why you don't like me either. But I'll be here, in the corner of your room, in the breath between your applause, in the silence between scenes. As long as you choose doctrine over reflection, flags over conscience, beauty over truth, I'll remain your forgotten consequence, your unburied echo. I am nobody, and I am what you chose not to see.
I was going to end the film here. But my author, the man behind this echo, prefers endings that dance to a Balkan rhythm. This story isn't just for the Balkans, it's for the human being. That's why, for the first time, I speak in a language not born of my streets, but of shared conscience.
Okay, if you like it, give me some likes and subscribe to my channel. Otherwise I'm going to come and you would not like this.